Good morning, everybody. Greetings. I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Mazatlán, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we get together every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time, and we talk about the joys of living in Mexico. We have a brand new setup this morning, and for the first time, I'm using my iMac desktop for the camera and control broadcasts, and we got the other little computer hooked up. Everything is good. Electrics, what camera I got? Electric's good. Internet is good. I got 300 meg. I'm broadcasting at. We got people in the house. Computers are working. We even have water here this morning. And for backup, I just put in new operating systems on both computers, and I've been trying to use my iPhone as a hotspot for a year, and it hadn't worked. Well, this week it's working. So if the regular internet goes down, I just click a button and we switch over to our iPhone hotspot, and that connects at 150 meg. So we could almost run without electricity. Let's see who is in the house this morning. Let's click over here. Oh yeah, I can do that. Let's click over here and go to comments. Let's see who's here. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the Buck Stops here. He was here like an hour ago. He's out watering his lawn. He says he'll be here after he gets done doing that. Lenora Wilson, Bill, and everyone in the chat. Bill, I have a question. Did you self-publish your books, or did you use a publisher? Let me get right back to that. Let me say good morning, Char Williams. Good morning, everybody. And me and Char got together this week for a SEO session, and went very well. Taught her about SEO, recorded the session. We had audio and visual, and then I can show her website stuff, web development stuff, recorded the entire session, and then emailed her that video right after the session. I think it went very well. Nancy, Nancy, great to see you in the house. Stephen Natham, as always, great to see you in mid-Canada. And if I use this camera over here, which I'm going to try to do, then I can't read the comments over here because the screen's over here, right? So I can't see it. So I got to go back over here. Oh, Hugh Harnell, let's go. Hugh, have we seen you here before? For what it's worth, it's your show. This is your show. We answer questions about where to live in Mexico, weather in Mexico, crime in Mexico, Mexico immigration, Mexico food, Mexico romance. We do it all. We do it all down here. Hugh, thanks for showing up and letting us know you are here. And here's my new neighbor in Morelia, David, and his wife, Maria. And even in the house, we have Brian, pretty boy maiden in the house, Jamie. Bill's upping his game in Mazatlán. Yeah, I'm so happy that my computers are running so well. And Verlaine, it's so great to see you. Verlaine is in La Paz. We had breakfast together. I guess it was about a couple of months ago. Frank is in the house from Hollywood, Florida. Que paso? Frank, todo bien. Have you been here before? This is the first time I remember seeing a message from you. And we got Axel Foley. Good morning, everyone. Bill, you're continuing to go cutting edge NASA technology. And just wait. Give me another 2 years on YouTube. Give me another 2 years. And if I get the right donations that I need, then I'm really going to up my equipment. I'm going to have a sound room with really nice equipment. Yeah. And we got Dominique in the house. house. Ola, Bill, Liston, Henry in the house. Woo, Mary Jane, we didn't see you last week, in the house. And the one and only Ms. Sam. Katrina the Maker is here. Woo, Helen is here from Wilmington, Delaware. Excessive heat warning, 89 degrees, about 97 degrees expected today. That's funky do. That's, as the brothers would say, that's funky do hot. I'm sorry. She speaks so she thinks. Good morning, and everyone sunny hot here in Charlotte. I'll be back to get back on the first to marry the charm. Yes, it did, Bill. Thank you again. You're very welcome. First time, Frank. Great to have you here. We got a bunch of people in the house. Frank, thank you for joining us so much. And if this is your first time here, let us know you're here. Click the like button, click the subscribe button if you want. But Frank, great to have you in the house. Ken Art is in the house. Always great to see you, my man. And then we got my girl from Buenos Dias, from Columbus, Ohio, looking good today. Johnny, Buenos Dias, senor. Glad to see you today. Peace and blessings. Very peace and blessings. Very important. Yeah, we're a family here. If this is your first time here, let us know you are here. Let us know where you are. Let us know what you want to know. Now that we've said hello to folks, let me go back to Lenora's question. Bill, I have a question. Did you self-publish your books or use a publisher? I tell you what, the publishing industry, getting into a movie, getting your movie script accepted, getting your books accepted is a nightmare. And unless you're really mainstream and you have connections, I don't see how anybody gets published. I've been published by a publisher one time, and that was Scholastic Books. I did and here's how funky the stuff really is. When I was writing children's books, Scholastic reached out to me. They wanted me to do a story for them, so I did. So I wrote for second graders. I wrote this story, and they didn't like the story. So what happened was they rewrote the story totally. I mean, it wasn't my story. They thought, well, do it like this. Write this story. I did the illustrations and all that. And this book, it's called The Code King. It's in a book for second graders. And actually, you can find this book throughout the world in most second grade classrooms. But they rewrote the whole thing. So, and then I was in a corporate fiasco, and I blew the whistle on a big corporation. It was a woo. My book, I wrote a book called, I'm not going to tell you what it was called, but it got to Harriet Rubin, who was the main publishing lady at, I think it was Doubleday. And it got to her. She got, that's as high as you can go. And she responded. She says, Bill, we're not doing corporate fiascos anymore. We're only doing how to take a problem and change it around and make it better. So after all of that, I just decided to self-publish. And then I did a lot of research on self-publishing, and I found out that there were many, many famous books that were self-published. And then after they became famous, they became published. Like Robert's Rules of Order was self-published. Bartlett's Quotations was self-published. And so I just self-published. Also, I was writing children's books. Then I switched to children's books. I self-published that. And the kind of stuff that I write for children, nobody's going to publish me because I tell the truth. I got this book called The Planet Yes. And you read that book, it starts out funky. And it's all about race. It's all about race and racism and how we should all live together and just do things all living together for one another. But it starts out really funky. No children's book publisher would ever touch that book. And I'm so glad you asked this question, because now we live in a world where you can self-publish. And what I'm doing now is like self-publishing. So anybody with a computer and some fingers that can type and maybe a camera can come out with your own ideas. It's a brand new world. No publisher, no Sony, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. They're not going to touch any of my stuff because I have real things to say that they don't want to touch, because they know that the average Joe Blow person on the planet might get upset with my ideas, because I got funky, real ideas that a lot of people just don't want to hear. Also, and I'm going to go down this road just a little bit more, then I'll get off this boat. But Lenora, when I published my first children's book, my main character is called Silly Billy. He's a little black kid. And the theme in each book is through reading, anyone can do anything. And his sidekick that teaches him all kinds of stuff. She's a black chick, but she's from outer space. And her name is Barba Babadad, the space girl. And she teaches Silly Billy how important it is to read and how reading can change your life. So I published that book. It looked like a Dr. Seuss book in quality. I printed like 4,000 copies, hardback, and that cost me $30,000. $30,000 today, with the way publishing is you don't have to print any book in self-publishing. You just write your book, do the pictures, and then it's like they have all these places when somebody buys it, then they print it and ship it to them. So it's a brand new world if you want to get published. So Lenora, again, I thank you for asking that question. And I made a lot of money self-publishing, and most of the money I made was in speaking engagements. People were paying me like $1,500 a day to come to their schools. I made a ton of money off that. Whatever. So let's see what I missed down here. What camera am I using? Let's click this button over here. Frank, we got Frank. Okay. Milou, good morning, Milou. I missed you the first time. ¿Cómo estás? Milou, todo bien aquí en Mazatlán, Mexico. All is good. Meg M. Hi, everyone. This is Meg from Taos, New Mexico. I love the great info you give us. You are very welcome. And look who has showed up. He must have just finished cutting his grass in New Jersey, and it's Dr. John, who's been joining us for 3 years here. Brian May, what is the weather like in Mazatlán? I hear a storm is coming. The weather, I tell you what, Brian, the weather here is, this is the most hot and humid morning yet this year. We had a big storm Thursday night. It rained all night, which is cool because it hasn't really rained in about 6 months. I mean, maybe we got like a tinkle, tinkle rain in 6 months. But Thursday night, it rained all night. And I thought, well, it rained all night. Maybe that'll take all this humidity out of the air. But no, it didn't. But it rained so much that it flooded the 7th floor of my building. My apartment was fine, but people were telling me, oh, yeah, we got water coming out of the air conditioners. Water's coming out of the electrical outlets. It was a rainstorm, but today it's sunny, but it's hot and humid as hell. And that's why I'm getting the hell out of Mazatlán. I tell you, Canadians like Brian Maiden are really smart. They don't come down here this time of year. You don't see hardly any Canadians down here this time of year. Canadians are smart. They get the hell out of here in the summertime because it's hot and humid as hell. I can't wait to get out of here. Axel Foley, when you self-published, what was the best avenue to get your work out to the public on a massive scale? Axel Foley, I used search engine optimization. Well, I used a couple of things. I'm a pioneer, man. I had to be on the cover of like Time magazine or Newsweek or something like that, because like I was doing, okay, everybody knows about Zoom now, but I was telling Char Williams in our session this week, I was one of the first people to teach people via computer one-on-one using screen sharing. I was one of the first people to do that. I was one of the first people to do spam. Yes. Yeah, you get your spam, you try to get rid of that. Yeah, I was one of the first people to do that. And they used to have this software. It was called email harvester, and you could go to a website and email harvester would suck every email out of that website and put it into your own database. So I used email harvester, and I just went to school system to school system throughout the United States, and I sucked in every teacher's email address. And then I would just start emailing them and telling them about my books and my, they call them author illustrator visits. And I got book sales all over the United States from that. And then I had my website. I put stories on the website, do SEO for my books there. But it was a tough industry. And then I was one of the first author illustrators to use the computer to do computer graphics. So people wanted me to come in and show their kids how to do it. And then word of mouth, conferences, all that kind of stuff. Word of mouth was the best way. But I tell you what, the library systems, that was a tough nut to crack. And to be very honest, my first book was computer graphics. It looked pixelated because it was one of the first computer graphics books printed. And so I printed my first book, and there is a publication, and it's called the School Library Journal. So you send them a copy, and then they'll review your book maybe. So I sent it to them. They reviewed my book that was called The Last Book. And the guy that reviewed the book said, it's a terrible story, and the pictures are so bad that you can't even tell what they are. That was the review of my first book. It killed my first book. And if you can get into libraries throughout the United States, kids love the books. Kids love the books because they look like computer games. But the guy that reviewed, he was out of Oakland, California. He probably never even played a computer game before. I was a computer game geek. So it's a lot of work doing this on your own, but very rewarding. Okay, you're very welcome, Lenora. Dominique. Meg M., I was just talking about Ojo Caliente hot springs with a friend of mine this morning. We got La Dulce in the house. Ciao, tutti. Glad to catch you live, Bill. We're glad that you're catching us live. Also, where can you find illustrators for a writer with limited funds? Well, finding illustrators with all the AI stuff going on out there. Like I have Photoshop. I've been using Photoshop like 30 years, maybe 35 years. So I'm really good at it. But now Photoshop has all this AI that I haven't experimented with too much. But now many of these graphics programs, you can just tell them what to do. There's Fiverr. You can go to Fiverr and you can get very affordable illustrators on Fiverr. But if you just, do some searches, you can find some very affordable illustrators all over the internet. There's another place that I've used that I can't think of right now. Hopefully I can remember that source before the broadcast is over. And Ken Art, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. This is how we stay online, how we can travel through Mexico. Your donation is greatly appreciated. Last week I was asked about, yes, covered calls, but I left early. I learned what I learned at WeTradeSchools.com. And to fill you guys in, Ken Art, I think he first told us a few months ago that he was a day trader and he was doing quite well. And we were talking about working online. And then last week he said, I do cover calls. And we were saying, well, what is that? And he talked about he's visually impaired somewhat, maybe has some other physical challenges. And then last week he said, if I can do this, anybody can do this. And I always like to say that if you're a young person and you're working online, if you move to Mexico, you will not regret it. You can earn great. My next video comes out Monday. It talks about people making money. It's the next video. It'll be out Monday. It's all about how people spend their time in Mexico. And I quote Ms. Sam, though I don't say it in the video, as a very important quote. But I encourage younger people to come down here. I didn't get down here until I was 45. I could have been down here when I was like 25 years old, having all this fun, making good money. And it's extremely affordable down here. But we were talking about that last week. And people were asking, well, what is covered calls? And he says, I learned it all at WeTradeSchool.com. You want to make big money like Ken Art, $8,000 a week. You want to have an airplane, fly to Europe every weekend like Ken Art. Ken Art's probably on his airplane right now. Yeah. So thank you so much for contributing to the channel. La Dolce Vita. Axel, have you tried Fiverr? There you go. Lots of low-cost designers, illustrators there. You submit what you're looking for, and they bid on a job for you. You are so right. I have used Fiverr in the past. Ray Garcia, even in the Southwest desert here, we don't reach 120 like somewhere else. Good for you. Be cool. Be cool. Verlaine, I have to get your books for my grandson. He's 3 now. Just looked up. Silly Billy looks great. I don't think really, Verlaine, you can find any of my books. I have some original copies over in my bedroom in the bottom drawer. My first book was called The Last Book. Follow and the theme of the last book, which was the first book, was through reading anyone can do anything. And then the second book was called The Planet Yes. And in the Planet Yes, the theme was we should all read and dream and enjoy life and make our dreams come true. And the final book was called The Box. And the theme was, why live in a box when you can live anywhere in the world? But I don't think you can find any of those books anymore. Brian Maiden. My friends in Ahihique asked me to thank you very much for going over to the hotel to see if their bag was still there. Oh, you're tell them my pleasure. I'm just glad it was only 2 or 3 blocks away. Hola, Bill. I'm Celeste from Detroit. I'm moving to La Paz in 2025. I'll fly down in January to check it out. If all goes well, I'll move there May 2025. And Celeste in Detroit, Verlaine, lives in La Paz. And we did a video with Verlaine. And I met her and her partner, Henry. We went out to breakfast together. So if I can get Verlaine's agreement, I can hook you up with Verlaine's email address if she says it's okay. And if you email me, I can send you her email, and maybe she can show you around a little bit. Hola, Rudy Clemens. Hola, Rudy. And I just had I just went out to Rudy and Sheila last week for breakfast. Hola, Rudy. Tell Sheila I said hello. PJ, buenos dias, Memo y todos de Chapalita. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful, cool day of. Oh, you're in Chapalita. Does that mean that you're in Chapala? Are you visiting? And by the way, PJ, Jacqueline, she lives in Guadalajara, last I heard, and weather in Guadalajara is pretty freaking good. Guadalajara is only 45 minutes from Chapala and Ajijic, and they say that Ajijic has the best climate in the world. I lived in the Guadalajara, Chapala, Ajijic area for about 7 years, and I don't remember ever feeling like I don't want to go outside. And the weather here at this point today is like, I don't want to go outside, and I got to go walk around, do some shopping today. I'm going to do it, but I don't want to go outside. Goodbye, Mazatlán. Char Williams, Ms. Sam, I'd like to visit Morelia by year's end. Bill asked me if I talk to you, would you mind if he gives you my email so that we can schedule to talk? And is anyone teaching English in Mexico? There you go, Miss Sam. All you got to do is give me the word, and then I'll hook you all up. Let's see what else is happening. Zapopan. What? You're in Zapopan. Did you move, or is that a new thing that's going on? Camping Alan. Good morning, Camping Alan. Haven't seen you in a while. Always happy to see you here. I don't have many video clips this morning, but I have one that I loaded up a couple of weeks ago, and I kept forgetting to show you guys this video clip. It's kind of funny. I've never seen. One of the beauties of living in Mexico is that you never know what you're going to see. And when you first, one of the real beauties of living in Mexico is just the newness of everything. Again, the people are extremely giving and sharing and peaceful, extremely family oriented. You get to know them, and they just pull you in. You become a part of their family, and it's the newness. The people are new. The country is new. The ideas are new. The way of life is new. And for me, it's cleansing. It's cleansing. It cleanses my mind to be in a brand new place. I guess I could be, maybe I could be in London, or I could be in Germany. I could be anywhere in the world and experience cleansing. But I'm enjoying this cleansing here in Mexico. But anyway, let me show you this picture. I went to Stone Island. Oh, let's see. I went to Stone Island. I went to Stone Island a few months ago. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I went to Stone Island. Do we have a picture of Stone Island? No. I went to Stone Island. Where? Oh, here we go. And to get to Stone Island, you take a little boat. Takes like 4 minutes to get there. You go to the southern part of Mazatlán, get in a little boat, give them $1.50. That's round trip to go there and back. Then you walk down a little path, and the next thing, you're on this big stretch of about 20 restaurants. But I got off the boat. And here's one of the beauties of living in Mexico. I'm going to show you something now that I've never seen before. Here it is. Here it is. There you go. What is that? I've never seen anything. I haven't seen anything like that, even in a zoo. Is that a boar? Is it a pig? What is it? The joys of living in Mexico. Always. I wonder what his name is. I wonder if he has brothers and sisters. What was that? I have no clue what that was. Just Just another one of the many joys of living in Mexico. And Brian Maiden, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brian Pretty Boy Maiden, for contributing to the channel. That is greatly appreciated. And I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing to prepare for my trip. But as always, Brian Pretty Boy Maiden, thank you. We interviewed Brian about a month and a half ago. It was a good interview. He talks about just his life in Canada, life with his ex-wife and the businesses that they have, why he likes Mexico, where he has traveled in Mexico. It's a good interview, but thank you very much, Brian Maiden. And look who's here but William Mustache Stone Man, Buen Dia, Senor Lewis, and William Mustache Stone Man. I got a big question for you. Okay, you got that little thingy over the N. I have yet to figure it out how to do that on my computer. Also, how do you get that little accent over a letter? What keystroke do you use for that? But great to see you, William Mustache Stone Man and Ms. Sam. Bill, you could give Char my email address. That's perfectly fine. Okay, I'll hook you up. I'll hook you two up. Char, if you don't get to her email by Monday, email me to remind me. And I'm going to send Ms. Sam's phone number with the email. Then you can just call her. But you better have a lot of time because Miss Sam can talk. That girl can talk. If you look up talk in the dictionary, you're going to see a picture of Miss Sam. All right. My vote is a pig. Okay, right on. It's a politician. Okay. That's cold. That was cold, Jamie. Frank Padron. Padron? You can share 3 things you love. Oh, can you share 3 things you love about Mazatlán? I've been to Yucatan, Kuru, Campeche, and Chiapas. My wife and I are going to give Mazatlán a try. Mazatlán is a fabulous place when it's not hot and humid. But I'm going to say, like, I live in northern Mazatlán, and let's get out the map here. I live in northern Mazatlán. So here we go. Yeah. Okay. So here you go. So at the top of the map, I live up here. You can see the Mazatlán Marina up here. That's where I live. And I walk by the marina. I walk by the marina. Here's my street right here. De la Ostra. Calle de la Ostra. That is the street I live on. So I walk down here, walk around the marina. But I'm a bit north. I mean, you know, I can walk to shops and all that kind of stuff. But you can see this gray road that's called Sablo, which is actually the Mazatlán Malecón. So there's stuff up here. Let me zoom out now. So my suggestion to really enjoy Mazatlán is to live as close to El Centro as you can, which is this area down here. The Malecón in Mazatlán is beautiful. All kinds of restaurants and shops, even museums. The ocean is right there. The living in El Centro is kind of pricey. Over here on the right-hand side is Stone Island. It's a wonderful place to go. Stone Island is fabulous to visit. That's where I took the boat over and saw the little pig. But if you're going to try Mazatlán, and if you can afford $1,300 a month, $1,500 a month to live in El Centro, I would say do that. And your life's going to be just so much fun. It's going to be so enjoyable. You're going to be near the plaza, a bunch of restaurants, museum. You can walk right to the Malecón and see all kinds of people. So I'm going to say what I really like most about Mexico, about Mazatlán, is El Centro and the Malecón. I love it. Another thing I love about Mazatlán is the food. Fabulous food, very affordable food. And there's many things. They have many special events in Malecón. Special events like they have Carnival, which I think is in January. They have like 1 million people that show up for Carnival, Dia de los Muertos, Halloween. They have 1 million people show up for that. They have the Moto Fest in the spring, where tens of thousands of cyclists show up every year. They have a professional baseball team. They have a professional basketball team. So the weather in the wintertime, once October hits, October 15th to April 15th, the weather is perfect. So I live 3 blocks from the ocean. Almost anywhere in Mazatlán where you're going to live, you're going to be really close to the ocean. If you move inland, and when I say inland, I mean, if you find a place that is like 2 miles away from the ocean inland, headed east, your prices are really going to go down as far as rent or buying a home. But I'm just going to come flat out and say it directly. What I like most about Mazatlán is the weather from October 15th to April 15th, and living in El Centro with all of you can just walk around all the time. And I love walking around El Centro in the early evenings and stopping at a cafe and just meeting wonderful, friendly people. I would say that's it. Oh, the downside about Mazatlán is it's hotter than hell this time of year. It's hot as hell here. I hope that gave you some insight, Frank. There you go. And thank you, Frank, first timer, for donating to the channel. Yeah, man, you come back every week. Yeah, $4.99. Now I can pay my rent with $4.99. Thank you so much. Jamie, yes, that is what I meant. You guys are cold, man. That's cold-blooded. Ms. Sam, thank you so much. Okay, you guys, we'll hook you guys up. You guys are cold, man. You guys are just cold-blooded. I didn't say it. I didn't say nothing like that. You know me. I hold my tongue. I haven't talked about politics in about 3 weeks. I watch so much politics. I'm about sick of politics now. It's hard for me to watch. Miss Sam, Bill, Morelia's nice and cool today and yesterday as well. I'm going to roam the streets. I'm so thankful to be here. No fear, only love and humanity. And Ms. Sam, you guys don't know, man. And that's what turned me on so much about Morelia. I was there in August. I've said it many times. I was there in August of last year. I left a hotel at 7:30 in the morning, had to go back into the hotel to put on 2 hoodies to be warm, to go out and shoot video. I just remember sitting at the plaza at 2:00 in the morning in the sunshine, and I was not sweating. I was walking all around Morelia Centro at 2:00 in the afternoon, August 25th, and it didn't even seem hot. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but that's how I thought it felt. But Frank, I tell you, man, in Mazatlán in the summertime, it is unbearably hot for this guy here. All right. Oh, and for you guys that are new here, we talk to each other here in this group. We send each other messages. We get to know each other. We're family. We're family up in here. And Char Williams, thank you, Bill. And I will set aside plenty of time. Okay, girls. Thank you, Char, so much. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel. And that's funny. Me and Char got together. That was really good. I thought that the information that I shared with her was really good. And I haven't. I stopped. I mean, I taught online for 12 years, advanced computer graphics, web design, Photoshop, video editing, SEO. I mean, that's how I made a living for 12 years. But, I never thought, I mentioned it last week. Then people, oh, yeah, well, can you teach me that? Can you tell? Well, yeah, okay. I need to bring that up. I need to bring that up more often, get me some side money. I charge $45 an hour. I can still do it. And the less I do it, the more fun it is. Like if I have 3 or 4 classes a week, but if I have 3 or 4 classes a week, that's like $150 a week. That's $600 a month. That pays my rent. But whatever, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But thank you so much for your time this week and for contributing to the channel. The Foster Doho. I have been living in Chapala area. Very good. Yeah, the Foster Doho. I lived in Chapala, very close to Soriana. Very close to Soriana. I lived there for like 3 years. Chapala it's a sleeper. It's a quiet place, not at all like Ahihic. There's a few too many expats in Ahihic, and that's not the case in Chapala. Going back soon, been in Canada for a couple of months, but I could build a life there. Yeah, Chapala is a sleeper town. I think it's going to be a lot more affordable than Ahihic and many other places. Weather's great, very quiet. Not much of a lifestyle at all. Yeah, I picked that up. Been to that area at all. Yes, I lived in Chapala. I lived in Chapala for 4 years. And another place to check out near Chapala is San Nicolas Ibarra. It's about a 5-minute drive from Chapala. You want to live quiet and really inexpensive. There you go. I almost said cheap. Hey, Bill, I didn't say which politician. Okay. Sunset. We got all kinds of people showing up in the house that we've never heard a peep out of before. Welcome to the family. We are sincerely family here. I'm just the conduit. You know, people bring up ideas. We talk about them. We have fun. People ask questions. People meet each other from all other continents and ask about the joys of living in Mexico. So Sunset in the house. Bill, love the channel. Just got my temporary residence. Soon I have to travel there with my wife and twins to get our temporary cards. Good for you. Congratulations getting all through that. I bet you feel really good. Really curious to see how you and your wife and you kids feel about the joys of Mexico once you arrive. Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. William Stoneman, trust me, Bill. William Stoneman. Are you talking about in Tennessee? Or are you talking about somewhere here in Mexico? Uh-oh, I got lost. Something. Yes, that is why I love Chapala. Jamie, thank you. Uh-oh, I think I skipped somebody. Ms. Sam. I missed some stuff. Here we go. Ms. Sam, thank you, Ms. Sam, so much for contributing to the channel. I can go out and get 3 super tacos, and those tacos are so street tacos. I go out and get 3 big street tacos for $4.99, actually for $2.50. I can get 6 of them. That's like a whole week. Of food. Okay, I know exactly where that is. Yeah. If you can find San Nicolas Ibarra, I've been there. I did a video on it. In fact, I have a subscriber whose family founded the town. He lives in San Francisco. Raul, his name is Raul Ibarra. He and his wife came down from San Francisco. He still has family living in San Nicolas Ibarra. His grandfather lives there right on the square. San Nicolas is very small. They don't even have an OXXO there yet. But stuff is really affordable there. I met a woman that moved there, and she had a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom apartment. She was paying like $200 a month. Very quiet. Okay, now, around Soriana. I could walk to Soriana in like 5 minutes. Yep. And for those of you that don't know, for those of you that don't know, Soriana is a major grocery store chain throughout Mexico. Right on, Jamie. Jamie contacts me pretty frequently. And thank you so much, Jamie, for contributing to the channel. Brian Maiden. The weather here in Winnipeg, Canada has been crazy. We are still hitting single digit in the morning, plus lots of rain this year. Does that mean, Brian, does that mean cold in the morning, single digit? That's cold. That's almost freezing, right? Right on. Went to Todos Santos for the day. 45 minutes south of La Paz. Was much cooler on the Pacific side of Baja. And, okay, La Paz, Todos Santos for the day. 45 minutes south of La Paz. Todos Santos. Todos Santos. Todos Santos. Okay, so let's go over here and let people know where that is. Let's zoom out here on the wonderful Google map. And that's what's so cool about the internet, is all the information is right here at our fingertips. Here's Mazatlán over here. You can take a boat ride and actually rent a hotel room on the boat and actually go from Mazatlán on the boat over here to La Paz. And here is the peninsula, and what Verlaine lives over here in La Paz. And I think I just started talking to Verlaine last year. And here we go. So she lives in La Paz. You go down to the bottom of the peninsula, almost the bottom of the peninsula. And here's where she visited, Todos Santos, down there. And I have not explored the peninsula. That's on my list. I'll do that maybe in 2 years or 3 years, once the channel has grown, once income from the channel has grown. But I think if I do the peninsula, I'm gonna have to stay there for about a week. That's going to be a lot of hotels, a lot of travel. But that is what Verlaine is talking about. Mexico is fabulous. Let's see now. Winnipeg crazy, Verlaine, William Mustache Stoneman. Download. Oh, okay. Download a keyboard. Download a Spanish keyboard for. Download a keyboard for your keyboard. You can switch back and forth between English and Spanish. And William Mustache Stoneman, do you use a Mac? Okay, Foster. Bill, where do you live right now? Specifically, Mazatlán. Yes, I live in Mazatlán, Mexico right now. I've been here for 2 years, and I'm moving to Morelia, which is about about an hour from León, about 2 hours from Mexico City, and I'm moving there in about 10 days. Can't wait to get out of Mazatlán. Axel Foley. This question is for any Mexican resident. Do I have to get my passport stamped from immigration when I leave and enter Mexico? Okay. When I leave and enter. That is a very good question. Entering, yes. When you leave, I don't think you have to do it when you leave. Now the thing is if Entering, yes. Because they've got to get that, to do that tourist visa thing, that the way that they document that, they used to give you a little piece of paper. Now I've heard that they're using a stamp on your passport. That gets a little tricky. The tricky thing is if you get a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, or permanent visa, and if you have that visa and you come back into Mexico and you get your passport stamped, well, that stamp is going to evoke your visa and take you back down to a 180-day situation. So if you have a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, or permanent visa, and you left the country and you're coming back into Mexico, then you don't want to get stamped. You just want to show them your visa. They let you in and you don't get a stamp. That's what I think, Axel Foley. Dominique, congratulations, Sunset. See, we all talk to each other. Okay. Morelia temperatures. Okay. Meg M. Hi, Bill. I visited Puebla, Cholula last year. I love them. Do you have any insight into what it would be like to live there? And let's take a peek at El Mapo, Puebla and Cholula. Let's look at the map again and let people know where those places are. So let's zoom out here. Okay, there's all of Mexico over here. Let's put Mexico in the middle. And again, let's zoom in. Okay, so here I am up here in Mazatlán. Yep, on the far northern west coast. Here's Puerto Vallarta. To drive from Mazatlán to Puerto Vallarta, I've done it many times. That's going to be about 4.5 hours. To drive or take the bus from Mazatlán to Guadalajara, that's about 6.5 hours. And this lake here is the biggest lake in Mexico. That is called Lake Chapala. And that is where Ajijic and Chapala are on the northern part of the lake, 45 minutes from Guadalajara. So I am moving to Morelia, which is here. And to go from Mazatlán, the bus is going to go through Guadalajara to Morelia. That's going to be about a 14-hour bus trip. So I'm moving to Morelia in about 10 days. Now let's talk about Puebla. And I would love to go to Puebla. But as you can see, for me to go from Mazatlán to Morelia, that's 14 hours on the bus. I bet it's going to be about another 6 or 7 hours to get to Puebla from Morelia. So for me to go from Mazatlán to Puebla, that's going to be like a 25-hour bus ride. But once I get to Morelia, then I might go spend the night in Mexico City and then do the next day in Puebla. I've heard wonderful things about Puebla, and you can see that Puebla is not only a city, but it is a state. Here is the state name, and here is the city name. But once I get to Morelia, it is on my list for places that I want to go and do a video, learn about, and make a video about. Okay, now here we go. Let's see. Hi, Bill. Last year, loved them. Okay, there you go. Axel Foley, no, show your resident card. Do not get passport stamped. There you go. Because if you get your passport stamped, you are screwed. There you go. The buck stops here. I just finished watering the front lawn. I've I've always wondered what cities with cool summers in Mexico with an international airport so I can fly back nonstop to Denver. Now, the nonstop part is very shaky. I'm thinking one of the cool cities that you could live in would be in the Chapala, Ajijic area, or Guadalajara, or even Morelia. Morelia, I believe, has an international airport, but direct to Denver, good luck with that. I'm going to add, buck stops here, that if you're inland, where I'm going to live in Morelia, if you're going to live around the Guadalajara area, I don't know what the weather's like in Puebla, but inland Mexico is much less humid than the coastal cities. And when I lived in Puerto Vallarta, that is not a cool city, only in the wintertime. But when I lived in Puerto Vallarta, I used to fly to Chicago. I was dating some woman. She lived in Chicago. So I would fly to Chicago regularly, and I could fly direct from Puerto Vallarta to Chicago. That was great. But near Chicago, kind of, is Columbus, Ohio, my hometown. And I could never fly direct to Columbus, Ohio. I always had to go to like Dallas and then to Columbus. So Denver, good luck with that. Check the airlines and let's see what happens. Brian Maiden, yes. Yes, it is cool. Brian, pretty boy, Maiden, you so cool. You just fit into the environment so well. Timmy, single digits are under freezing. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I got to practice with my Celsius. I have to practice learning Celsius. Okay, what else is happening? Sunset. Now it's the convincing of my wife part to move to Mexico, which will not be easy. Life is better in Mexico. I am preferring La Paz for my research. Has much to offer. I tell you, Sunset, I love it in Mexico. I've lived and traveled throughout the United States. I have no desire to put one toe in the United States ever again, not even for a visit. The only reason, if I could get a direct flight to somewhere that sells White Castle cheeseburgers, I might go just to eat some White Castle cheeseburgers. That's the only reason I would go to the United States. Why are you moving there, Bill? Why are you moving to Morelia? Because the weather is fantastic. The weather is fantastic in Morelia. I think Morelia has a larger population than Puerto Vallarta or Mazatlán, a smaller population than Guadalajara. They have 1 million people. They have 8 universities or more. And I'm gonna save, compared to what I'm paying for rent now, I'm going to save about $300 or $400 a month in rent. The weather is better. It's much more affordable than Mazatlán or Puerto Vallarta, and those are the major reasons. Plus, when I went to Morelia, I was sitting in El Centro on the plaza watching the people walk around, and something just told me, you got to live here. La Dolce Vita. An easy way to get the accents over your letters is to hold down the E, for example. And then the options will show up above. That's okay. Thank you. Hold down the E key. Thank you so much. Who is this? Nikki Sanchez. Hola, Nikki. Bill, I love your show. Haven't hopped on the live in a while. Why did you decide to move to Morelia? Won't you miss the ocean? Now I answered a little of that a couple of minutes ago, but let's talk about the ocean. The ocean is beautiful. I'm on the 4th floor. Oh, that curtain. Where am I? What camera am I on? That curtain right over there, if I put that up, I can see a little bit of the ocean. The people on the 7th floor, they can see all of the ocean. I lived in Puerto Vallarta. Where's the camera? I lived in Puerto Vallarta for 10 years. And pretty much in Puerto Vallarta, I used to go to the ocean every day. Sometimes I would go swimming I had a period where I would go swim in the ocean every day. I would get up in the morning and drink coffee, right? And look at the ocean, drink 2 cups of coffee, the ocean, watch the sunsets. But then I moved to Guadalajara and I was wondering, am I going to miss the ocean? I got to Guadalajara. I didn't miss the ocean at all. I live 3 blocks from the ocean. I never go to the ocean. Some people like to swim in the ocean. Some people like to walk the beach. I don't do that. So the ocean is beautiful. I've been whale watching. I love ocean views, but I'm not going to miss it at all. No, I'm not going to miss it because my head is in such a wonderful spot, and Morelia is just going to enhance my peace and happiness. There you go. That's what I think. Lenora Wilson, the buck stops here. Here, Agua Calientes has great temperatures year-round. I have no idea about direct flights. And let's go back to the map because now we're talking about Agua Calientes. Aguas Calientes, which in let's see, in Spanish, Aguas Calientes means hot waters. So let's zoom in. Here is Guadalajara over here. One of my favorite cities is Guanajuato. Did a video on that. I was there last year. Love Guanajuato. Here is Morelia right here. Here's Mexico City over here. And Aguas Calientes is a place that I've heard a lot about. I want to do a video on. But here is Morelia. Here is Guanajuato. Here is Leon, the leather city of Mexico. And they have that international hot air balloon festival every November. It's a must see. I did a video on Lagos de Moreno. That is a sleeper town. That town is fabulous, wonderful, very extremely affordable, excellent weather, intelligent people. But up here you can see Aguas Caliente. So that looks like from Morelia to Guadalajara on the bus is 3.5 hours. So Morelia to Aguas Calientes is about a 4-hour bus ride, I would think. So I'm going to take the bus to Aguas Calientes. And this is another reason I'm moving to Morelia. You can see that in Morelia, I'm 3.5 hours from Guadalajara. I'm about a 3-hour bus ride from Mexico City. I can't wait to go back to Guanajuato. Yahoo! So that is Aguas Calientes, and I've heard many things about it. And here's San Luis Potosi. I haven't been there in 40 years. So let's just mix it all up. Let's mix it all up now. Here we go. Let's scroll down some. And look who's here. None other than Earthly Color Brown. Hola Memo, getting ready for work. So want to be in Mexico. Come on down, girl. Clean yourself up and come on down. Kenny Wilson, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, Kenny. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Hey, life is fabulous. I tell you what, I just enjoy life every day. It's fun. And making these videos and hanging out with you guys is just a blast. And if you're watching for your first time, ask any questions, tell us where you are, click the subscribe button, maybe. We have 2 videos coming out this week. One is it's a short video, it's about 8 minutes. It's going to talk about how expats spend their time day to day in Mexico. And the video after that is going to be what I'm packing specifically to move all of my important belongings to Morelia. What is so important to me that I have to move all over the planet. I'm taking 3 suitcases and a box for my desktop computer. I'm going to do a video about that. That will be my Thursday video for next week. And then I'm doing a video that will be for 10 days away from now. I'm leaving. I decided to leave Mazatlán. I could have left at 8 in the morning and get in Morelia at 10 o'clock at night. That would be a direct bus from Mazatlán going through Guadalajara to Morelia. But instead, I'm going to leave at 9 o'clock at night. I'm going to leave at 9 o'clock at night and get to Morelia at 10 a.m. in the morning. And that's pretty cool. I'm going to have 2 big tortas. Those are wonderful Mexican sandwiches in Mexican fresh bread with probably pork, all kinds of vegetables, avocado on it, tomatoes. I'll bring some of my special sauce, and I have my laptop. And on the bus, you can plug your laptop into an electrical outlet, and then I'll have my cell phone to use as an internet hotspot. So I can be surfing the internet, watching movies on YouTube the whole time I'm on the bus, coming up with video ideas. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I just went off. But that's whatever. David, yes, the weather in Morelia is great now. Cool. But April, May, and most of June is pretty hot. 90 plus degrees changed around last Thursday. Thank God. And David, thank God I missed all of that. It started, but I can take it. But I mean, down here's been hotter than hell. I'm out of here. I can't wait to be in Morelia. Verlaine, thank you, Verlaine. Thank you. Yeah, we're a family. We talk to each other. We share ideas. That's what we do. In Merida, they stamp my passport and write residente temporal instead of the date. Okay, and all immigration changes from place to place wherever you go. It's weird. Did you find another apartment in Morelia yet? Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, no, I haven't. So the plan, I'm going to start. Okay, so I'm leaving on the 2nd of July. So I'll get there, and that's a Tuesday night. I'll be there Wednesday, 10 a.m., get settled in, get something to eat, chill out for a little bit. So that gives me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to find a place. I'm looking at apartments now. I'll start contacting people. on the phone, maybe a few this week, and setting appointments. And look who's here. Chris is in the house. I've met Chris many times. He frequents the Ajijic Chapala area. Great to see you here, Chris. I hope you're doing well. Bill, what are the names? Oh, what are the names of the Mexican bus companies you use? I have used ETN, and I think Ms. Sam went from Guadalajara to Morelia on ETN, a fabulous service. I am using, oh my God. When I looked up direct buses from Mazatlán to Morelia, there were only two that provide, Elite. From Mazatlán to Morelia, I'm using Elite. I've taken them before. All the buses are kind of the same. They're all fabulous. I've only had one bad experience on a bus. I've taken a lot of buses. Where was I? I was in Los Mochis. That bus line, I would never take that. I should have taken a picture of it so I could remember and tell everybody never to use this bus line. But Elite, I'm taking Elite. I've used Elite before. There's another bus line called Futura. I've used them before. There's a bus service that goes from Guadalajara. Oh, Premier Plus. Premier Plus, you'll see them all over Mexico. They have golden buses. And the good thing about Premier Plus is their buses are cleaner than almost all the bus lines are very clean. You got Wi-Fi, movies to watch. I've never seen a dirty bathroom. But Premier Plus many times will have their own stopping place. Like here in Mazatlán, there's the main bus station, but they don't have any Premier Plus there. But they have their own terminal. Premier Plus has its own terminal. So they have you go to the Premier Plus terminal. The thing is, but Premier Plus is very popular in Mexico. So I think on Premier Plus, I think I went from Guadalajara to Morelia on Premier Plus, and the bus was full. And the bus left Guadalajara at 8 o'clock at night during the week, arrived around 11:30 midnight, and the bus was full. So Premier Plus is very popular. Also, there's a bus line that I took many times from Guadalajara, from Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara, and that bus line was called Vallarta Plus. Vallarta Plus. And the Plus line, they have their service, I think, through many parts of Mexico, and it's always the Plus service, but then they just changed the first name. It's like Vallarta Plus. So in Puerto Vallarta, the Vallarta Plus bus line has its own terminal, which is near the airport. So those are a few. There's another bus line I took, and I can't remember its name right now, but what I really liked about it is it was a double-decker bus. Many of these bus lines have the double-decker buses, and so you can. I love to get the front seat on the second floor, so it's like driving the bus. I love that. So there are a few. There are many wonderful bus lines in Mexico. All right, Lenora Wilson, thank you. I will. What's going on here? Something just popped up on my screen. Oh no, it's starting Apple Music for some reason. I got to turn that off. I don't know what that's all about. Now, Bill, do you have to get someone as a security whenever you rent an apartment in Mexico? No. People, I'm going to think everyone has always asked for references. Usually they have asked for 3 references. So I'm hoping my landlord from Puerto Vallarta, Mike, I hope he's still alive. I can use him. If not, I can use his partner, Charlie. So I can use them as references. I can use this person here as a reference. And as a third reference, I might just use some random person. But one of my best friends for life, her name is, I'm not going to say her name, but she lives in Columbus, Ohio. And she was the warden of a prison in Ohio for like 20 years. So I would use her as a reference too. I mean, how good of a how nice of a reference is that? Somebody that was a warden for a prison. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you just give 3 references and you're good to go. Okay, Jamie, hoodies, Bill. Yeah, hoodies. That's what I'm talking about. Hoodies. David, what are the nighttime temps in Morelia, April through June? Thank you. Thanks for asking. And PJ in the house, thank you, girlfriend, for donating to our channel so I can pay the rent and travel. And I tell you what, this travel thing is a little bit stressful. Well, you got to pack your stuff. Are you going to get your security deposit back? Where are you going to live next? That kind of thing. Where are you going to land? How do you choose a new neighborhood? It's a little bit stressful, but I'll be happy to move and just know where I'm going to be so that I can start getting back on the road. If you've been watching my videos lately, I've been staying real close, making videos I can make without leaving the apartment. But once I hit Morelia, then I can get back on the road again, put the drone up. I haven't put the drone up in months. I'm not putting the drone up down here when it's 114 degrees and really humid. I put it up, it might melt. So I can't wait to get out of here. But JP, again, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Okay. The weather in Guadalajara dropped 20 degrees in one day. Now it's perfect. Not necessary for AC, but May is no joke. Yeah, I lived in Guadalajara and the temperatures are crazy. It might go up to 95 in the wintertime. It might go up to 95 degrees. And then at nighttime, it'll be like 46 degrees. But that's cool. You throw on some hoodies, you're good to go. And your house, my house in Guadalajara, it was cool all the time. As long as you don't rent an apartment on the top floor, you should be good to go. Let's see what else is happening. We got 72 people in the house. We have 40 likes. People are contributing. We have new people that have never been here before showing up. If you're new and you pick up on some information, click the subscribe button. Help our channel grow. Oh, also, I haven't mentioned, here we go. I haven't mentioned our new Facebook group, Expats Living in Mexico, Bill, Dallas, Lewis. You can find a link to that in the description below. We have about 243 members right now. And, but check it out. We have 243 members. People are starting to talk to each other like we do here. And I'm hoping in a year we can grow that channel to maybe 1,000, 2,000 members. I don't make any money on it, but it's fun. We got a lot of group members there. People are posting comments. Something happened this week. Jamie, who just contributed like $5, he's in Canada. He sends me information. People in this group, my subscribers, send me information and I put it on the Facebook page sometimes. Oh, the peso. I just put up an article yesterday about the peso. I put it on the Facebook page. It's like the third thing down, and there's this other YouTuber interviewing a Mexican economist, and he's talking about where the peso is going. And then I have peso information written down here. Okay. Yesterday, the peso, $1 was worth about 18.70 pesos. This morning, $1 was 18.11 pesos. So the economist was saying that he thinks that the peso is going to pretty much be stabilized for about 2 years between 1820 and he said 1780, which is way better than it's been. So he said it's going to stabilize. So that you can find that. It's a 30-minute interview, and you can find it at our new Facebook group. There is a link to that in the description below. And also, a lot of people say, well, I watched the rebroadcast and I want to donate. How do I do that? Well, if you're watching the rebroadcast, in the description below, there is a donation link. You click that thing, it takes you into PayPal, and in there you can use PayPal. You don't even have to be a PayPal member, but PayPal will let you donate using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discovery Card. Okay, let's get back to comments, and I'm going to leave that up for a while. I'm going to leave that up for here we go. I'm going to leave that message up for a while for people that are donating for the rebroadcast. Meg M, before I move to Mexico, I really want to take an online Spanish class. My Spanish is pretty bad right now. Can you recommend an online Spanish class? Okay, Meg M, let me just say this. Don't worry about it. Just come down. Don't worry about it. What's that? Like Brian Maiden, what's that thing? What's that thing that you use for 2 years? There are many free online classes, but I've mentioned this in the past. Today, I'm going to go to a little shop. I'm only going there because they sell my coffee. And what's that guy's name? Orlando, something like, starts with an O. And he's a Mexican guy, and he learned English watching movies. He would watch a movie, it would have English subtitles. He would watch the movie 2 times. One time he would watch it with the subtitles in Spanish. So the people are speaking English in the movie, and he's got Spanish subtitles. So he can read the subtitles, hear the English. And so that's how he learned English. And he said he would watch one movie every day. We talk about this pretty frequently. Listen to Mexican music. There's all kinds of, for every type of music in the United States, they have the same kind of music in Mexico. So find some Mexican artist that sings My Way by Frank Sinatra. Just play that again and again. My way, mi manera, ego, mi manera, and just listen to that over and over and over again. I had a dentist who said she learned English listening to Whitney Houston. So listen to music, watch movies. I wouldn't worry about your Spanish. Come down here, write down words that you think are important that you want to learn. And before you go somewhere, if you know you need some beer, If you know you need some milk, if you know you need some red bread, learn how to say, ¿Cómo se dice este? That means, how do you say this? Or where is that? Learn how to say, where is this? Where is that? What is that? How do I say this? What is your name? How do you, hola? How, base just, and then you can't see it, but I write that stuff on my refrigerator. But don't worry about it. Just come on down. You'll learn as you go. Do not let Spanish hold you back at all. Yes, Dominique, I took ETN and it was fabulous. The bathroom is luxurious. And the bus station looks like a beautiful airport with lots of restaurants and fast food joint. I love the VIP section. Yeah, ETN, the bathrooms are so good. And they even have a person in there to help you wash your hands. And you got to tip them on the way out. They have a little bar back in the bathroom. I'm only kidding. Miss Sam, cool, thanks. Miss Sam, I did not need any references. Okay, you never know. You never know. There you go. Duolingo. There you go. Thank you, Bride Maiden. Is pretty good. You can get some of it for free, but you can buy a subscription and get more. There. Thank you, Brian. Duo. A lot of people that subscribe to the channel and join us regularly use Duolingo. Bill. So what other options are available if you don't have references? I'm renting for the first time. Make something up. Just, some friends or family in the United States. I think when I got this place, let me think about it. They wanted 3 references. I gave them 3 references. They didn't even contact my references. None of them. I gave them 3 references. They didn't contact their references. So anybody you can use on the planet, give them long distance, people in Chicago, people in Florida, Idaho, whatever you got, somebody that you worked for like 40 years ago, your first grade teacher, just write down 3 names with some phone numbers, and they're good. They're good with that. It's their job. It's their job. They wanted 3 references. Give it to them and good luck. Yeah, that's what I say. David, the nighttime temperatures in Morelia from April to June are in the low to mid 70s. That's the way it is down here now. And that's not bad, because down here about this time of year, all of a sudden the nighttime temperatures start to hit like 84, 85 degrees. Dominique, excellent. As long as it cools down. There you go. William Mustache Stoneman, ADO offers Primera Class A service on many routes. ADO, good to know. Virginia, hello from Long Island, New York. It's 90 degrees in New York. I need a vacation. Get out of there. Go to Canada. Go visit Brian Maiden. Native Mexican speakers want to practice their English with you most of the time. And yes, William Mustache Stoneman has traveled throughout Mexico extensively. And I've been to places. I've been to gas stations. I've been to shops. I've been to Walmart sometimes, where some Mexicans, in many Uber, DDs, taxis, and they just want to talk English. They won't let you even try to speak Spanish because they just want to practice their English. They want to practice, but also it's a sign of their sophistication. They want to share with you that, look, I'm sophisticated. Yes, I'm a Mexican national, but I speak English. We can speak English. I do it all the time. I'm good at it. Yes, that will happen to you. And see, people are nice. We're nice to each other up in here. I've been using Duolingo to freshen up my Spanish, and I like it a lot. I need to check out Duolingo myself, to be quite honest, because just a little refresher here and there is always a good thing. And who knows when you might not learn something new. The buck stops here. The only places in the interior where I could find non-stops from Denver are Mexico City and Guadalajara. The buses are great, and there are lots of places via local bus. Yeah, that's what I think. The major cities, direct flights, those cities are going to be Mexico City, Guadalajara. I'm going to say Puerto Vallarta. Yeah. Okay, folks. Well, there you go. I'm happy you guys could join us today. Let me turn off this banner. Next week is going to be our last. Got to check this message here. Mr. Mac. First time here, looks like a good channel. Mr. Mac, thank you so much for joining us. We've been here for 3 years. We're headed for 12,000 subscribers. We've only been doing this. Right now, I think we're at like 12,711 subscribers. But we're growing. We're headed to 20,000 subscribers. And Mr. Mac, I'm Bill the Geek, and this is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. We make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. And we go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Ask questions, leave comments. Next week, 1 week from today, will be my last broadcast from Mazatlán, I'm sure, ever. My last, and I'm kind of sad because all the videos that I make, I make them up on the deck, and that deck is so cool. You got all that ocean background, little mountains, and the hotels in the background. I'm going to miss that. I don't know. When I make my intros now, I guess I'll just be standing out in the street on Morelia with buses and taxis and bicycles going by, maybe in the backyard. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to try to make next weekend very enjoyable as a celebration of getting out of Mazatlán. Okay. Everybody have a good weekend. My Mr. Mac, it is a great channel. Thank you, Brian. Duolingo is the best. I learned Spanish very quickly by using Duolingo. Thanks, Brian. I'll come. As always, looking forward to the show, showing us more of Morelia. And once I get to Morelia, I'm going to be making Morelia videos for about a month or sharing information. And on that note, I think I'm getting ready to sign off myself. So thank you guys for sharing your Saturday morning with me today. We'll have 2 videos coming out this week, one on Monday, one on Thursday. We'll be going live for the last time here in Mazatlán next Saturday. So thank you each and everyone for showing up, sharing information with one another, getting to know one another. Again, love you all. Adios. Hasta luego. Y que te vaya bien.